Hey guys, today we'll compare two Terminator types the Grey Knights have access to, the regular Brotherhood Terminators and the Elite Paladins, and figure out which one you should include in your roster. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Everything in orange is about the Terminators, everything in blue is about the Paladins. These are the only two types of Terminators in general we have access to as Grey Knights. Terminators, the Brotherhood ones, are battle lines, so have OC2, which is incredibly good. The Paladins aren't, so they have OC1. Both have banners, which pumps up their OC by 1, and it's free, so you always take the banner. You're not even sacrificing your melee for this, which is awesome. Custodies, I'm looking at you. You have to learn how to carry the banner and the spear as well. Or should I say have to relearn that, because they already could do that in 8th and 9th edition, if I remember correctly. The Terminators are 42 points per model, and the Paladins are 45, so there is quite a bit of difference, but not tremendously. Minimum size squad is 5 for both and maximum is 10 for both. Both are standard Terminator stat line of 3 wounds, toughness 5, 2+ and save, and 4+ invulnerable save, so great stat line. We've already discussed it multiple times. Wonderful, is good against almost any threat. In general, is very durable. They both can utilize the whole suite of stratagems and character support that Grey Knights have, so there is no real difference there. Both are 4 attacks each at strength 6, AP 2, damage 2, so the all well-known Nemesis profile. Paladins hit on 2s in combat and shooting. The Terminators instead have lethal hits on the charge. Paladins have conditional -1 to wounds, so only for attacks that are higher strength than their toughness. Terminators heal a guy every round for free with their apothecary, and the apothecary is pretty much the Terminator just not having a Stormbolter, which who cares. Paladins have maximum 5 psycannons in the unit, where the Terminators max out on 2. But now let's focus more on the durability aspect, and this one is pretty difficult to analyze because obviously the Paladins are tougher because they have the -1 to wound rule that the Terminators don't have. However, Termies will get a dead guy back in the next turn. Paladins won't. So it is hard to judge the effectiveness of that because it's directly proportional to how many wounded units you have at the start of your turn. If you spread the dead Terminators, if you manage to do that across several units, and these are battle lines, so in theory you can have up to 6 units of Terminators, like 6 units of 5 for example, you can get tremendous value back, up to 250 points if you have 6 wounded squads with 1 guy dead each, or however many guys each, and you get all of them back. Obviously this won't happen in real life. You will, in best case scenario, resurrect 3, in most cases 1 or 2, but that's still about 42 or 84 points a turn. So having one big squad or having multiple smaller ones or just multiple big ones, it's a very different story. So to put the -1 to wound into perspective, 3 Vindicators shooting at your squad with full rerolls to hit, so with Oath, they kill 7 Terminators and 5 Paladins. So within one shooting phase, even with one guy returning to life, the Paladins will still be more survivable. For a squad of 5 Custodian Guard with full rerolls to wound and sustain hits 1, it's 5 dead Terminators and 4 dead Paladins. Less of a difference, as you can see, because we went down a wound bracket, so the wound modifier is becoming less relevant. And obviously there would be no difference whatsoever for strength 5 or something like that. And we are not counting the Armor of Contempt in because both can use this. So it is difficult to say which one is more durable, because if your tactics of using Grey Knights allows you to actually split the damage, and perhaps your opponent is not as experienced and they split fire and kill a couple of Terminators here, a couple of Terminators there, then Terminators are going to be more durable. If, however, your opponent decides to concentrate fire on one target, then the Paladins are doubtless more durable. Next is the damage output, and here we essentially need to compare +1 to hit with a lethal hits rule, because otherwise the melee is identical. For an intercessor type target, we're looking at about 14 dead Marines from a Paladin squad strike, so 10 Paladins attacking the intercessors, and 13 Marines from the Terminators. Not a huge difference, but it's noticeable. As soon as we go up a toughness bracket for Custodian Guard type of a unit, it's 4 dead Custodians for both Terminators and Paladins. As you can see, we've reached the limit of efficiency of +1 to hit, and it's going downhill for Paladins from here. Just a small comment, obviously the Paladin's ability works all the time, the +1 to hit, they just hit on 2s, where the Terminators actually need to charge, and as they don't have the ability to fall back and charge, you will not be able to reenact this ability over and over again. So keep that in mind. The Paladins will stay as efficient as they are, no matter how many rounds of combat they are in. For Rhinos and light monster types of targets, it's 14.8 wounds for Paladins, so toughness 9, 3+ save target, 14 wounds 0.8 for Paladins, and 17.7 for Terminators. So pretty big difference already. And even more so for a high toughness target with good save like Demon Rust, so toughness 12, 2+ save, 5.5 wounds for Paladins, and 10 wounds for Terminators, so almost double the output. Paladins obviously can be enhanced dramatically by including the Chaplain for +1 to wound, but they still are inferior in my opinion in melee versus high toughness threats. The shooting obviously is very different because they get 3 more special guns and they also have the +1 to hit. Here's how I see using these guys. The Terminators are going to be the backbone of your army no matter what. They're just too efficient, too good, too universally applicable to bypass. You need them. And their ability to revive a guy in each squad incentivizes us to run multiples of them, and also you get a benefit in melee because you can revive a guy closer to your opponent's unit and potentially get something like +2 or 3 inches to your charge roll. So we want to run them anyways. The Paladins, on the other hand, are a significantly better unit in shooting. As I said, they have 5 sight cannons on the squad, so 15 shots of strength 8, AP1 damage 2, hitting on 2s, and bolters, which it's not bad at all. And they are a more niche unit. I see their role as a durability focus of the army. It's a single brick unit, either enhanced by +1 to wound from Chaplain, ignore modifiers from the Grandmaster, but in my opinion the best one is just going all in on the durability, because if you are trying to make a unit very durable, you are better off almost always not trying to hybrid it, just going for the special focus of durability and getting -1 hit from boulders. Then with -1 to wound, -1 to hit, -1 AB from Armor of Contempt, you can make this unit nigh untouchable. I've had them survive a whole shooting phase of an entire Chaos Knights army with the War Dogs. Don't remember how many melter shots went my way. It was a lot, and they had rerolls, they had everything. They even charged my squad, and it still was alive at the end of it. And believe me, if it was a regular Terminator squad without Voldus and without -1 to wound, they'd be dead. So that is how I see using the Paladins. The Terminators are obviously going to be more popular in your list. However, don't forget about the Paladins. They're also not bad, even though in my humble opinion, they could be so much better. They were so much better in 8th edition. They really felt like the one-of-a-kind Terminator that needs to defeat a greater demon at the end of his training course to become a Paladin. And they really felt incredible because they were the only 3-1 Terminators in the entire 40k. Can you believe that? If you've started in 9th edition, you probably don't know that. But the Paladins were the only 3-1 Terminator in the entire 40k in 8th edition. Every other Terminator in the game was 2 wounds, apart from the Alaris, which they always were 4 wounds. All the Space Marine Terminators were 2 wounds each, and these guys were beefy. They were 3 wounds each, and they could make them extremely durable. Now they feel like a weird cousin of the Terminators, which in most applications is just simply worse, and that's a shame. Also, it's a shame that we don't have the different options for running these guys as a 3-man squad now, because we used to have that ability. And I really miss that because I loved the idea of having multiple small units of Paladins jumping around the board as an alternative to Strike Marines in this case. Let me know which unit is your favorite, if you use Paladins at all in your list and how you use them. I would love to know that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.